Welcome to Shutdown Tuesday. Happy Tuesday to you. Also, I may be wrong on something, or am I, regarding Russia. Not the hoax, not the hoax. We've all been right about that. More like war. And I'm hoping I'm still right, because I still believe there's a path toward this, because I do not seriously believe that Putin wants war. He's not going to win. But NATO, again, is a man in a dress with his head up his ass. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's true. That's NATO right now. So we're going to go into why Putin probably still doesn't want to mess with us, and we still hopefully will see an end to the war in Ukraine. And finally, is Comey really going to go to jail? Maybe. But there is a silver lining. So let's dig in. Now, on to Russia. Let's get into Russia. I called a prediction about a month ago that Trump would get the Ukraine war to end. Trump believes he can get the Ukraine war to end. That has not happened. I'm throwing myself out there. I said he could do it. It's going to happen. I still believe it is going to happen because the cards are on the table that it can still happen. We don't have to go down this path. War is getting real. The reason why we're saying war is getting real is, one, you've had the entire UN come out. There's been a paper that's come out, I believe, about a month ago telling inside people in the government, in France and Germany specifically, where it got leaked out, to prepare for war in the next 6 months. Okay? That's not great. Is that the end all be all? No, but it's not great. Not only that, you've got the American government getting serious about war. Hegseth is kicking out the woke, and he is kicking it out hard and fast. Not only that, all of the media for the military before even Trump came in shifted from woke minority BS to be all you can be in transgender army to now being we're going to be a cohesive fighting force jumping out of planes with guns and raining terror down on your head. Okay? That's a huge shift under the Biden administration. Biden administration didn't want to do that. They love their little rainbow coloring books and trannies with school books reading to kids. They love that. They changed that under the Biden administration before Trump even came in. That's how serious it's getting with Russia. Trump has not yet been able to close the book on this war. Now, I want to show some highlights from Hegseth's speech because they're fantastic. They're stuff that we all want to hear. We need to hear in our armed forces, and remind you what we did have under Biden, and then talk about the ramifications of that regarding the war with Russia, potential war with Russia.
No more identity months, DEI offices, dudes in dresses. No more climate change worship. No more division, distraction, or gender delusions. No more debris. As I've said before, and will say again, we are done with that shit. This, and I want to be very clear about this, this is not about preventing women from serving. We very much value the impact of female troops. Our female officers and NCOs are the absolute best in the world. But when it comes to any job that requires physical power to perform in combat, those physical standards must be high and gender neutral. If women can make it, excellent. If not, it is what it is. If that means no women qualify for some combat jobs, so be it. And most of all, Lord, please keep my soldiers safe. Lead them, guide them, protect them, watch over them. And as you gave all of yourself for me, help me give all of myself for them. And amen. I have prayed this prayer time since I've had the privilege of being your secretary. And I will continue to pray this prayer for each of you as you command and lead our nation's finest. Go forth and do good things. Yes.
That is fantastic. So again, just to highlight real quick, we're bringing back standards. If you can do it, you got it. No more sissy push-ups for girls. No more, we're just going to hang on the bar. We're not going to do a pull-up for girls. No, if you're going to get out there, no half rucksacks for girls. No, if you're going to be able to do it, you've got to do it right. No more of this cheating stuff, because when you're out there and you're in combat, You have to trust that everybody can do what you can do and you can get the job done. You got to be able to trust everybody out there. Not to mention the psychological effect of seeing a woman killed versus a man killed when you're out there in combat, okay? None of this sissy BS. It's time to get ready for war and what this plays into in a moment. And just a quick reminder of what we had. This is what we had under the old Biden regime. Really? Do I need to explain any of these pictures? Do I have to? I was trying so hard to find, and it's apparently been scrubbed, but I do remember this under the Biden administration where it showed a video of recruits trying to do the obstacle course, and they couldn't even jump over, I believe it was like a 4-foot hurdle. It was a 4 or 5 foot hurdle. They couldn't even jump over it. And there was a line of like 12 of them being sent to this, get out, get out. And it was just a line of recruits that could not do it. They're all doing like little sissy jumps, not even trying. It was pathetic. Pulling back up, Germany, and this is back when was published the documents in the UN in France and Germany. Germany plans for 1,000 wounded troops per day. France readies hospitals for up to 50,000 casualties by 2026. Again, I don't like to breathe in government propaganda. I like to take everything that comes out of the government, whether it's intentionally leaked or not intentionally leaked, because we don't really know. We have to guess with a grain of salt. However, with the shift in the Biden administration and then the UN pansies now saying, okay, I guess we do have to pony up some dough for the NATO troops, it's looking like they are gearing up. That is scary. I do not want to see a war. I do believe that we have time to turn this around. But I'm hoping there is still a path forward without war. For example, Trump calls this out very clearly. Trump mocks NATO allies for funding the war against themselves. What is he talking about? If you didn't watch Trump's speech, the UN, again, I was out that week. It was fantastic. He basically reamed them really, really well to their face. And this includes whoever it was that shut off the escalator with Melania and Trump on it, who needs to be not just fired, but needs to be brought up on charges. Or the person that cut off the teleprompter as well, or the person that screwed up the audio where Trump wasn't even talking to the actual audience. Only the translators were able to hear it and then translate it to whoever was using the translators. So a good chunk of people still got to hear his speech, and then of course it got played over cable or internet or streamed. It's a great speech. If you like Trump, go watch it. He really does ream the UN a new one. Basically, he's calling them out where they are buying oil and natural gas from Russia. They are fueling Russia's war machine, but yet they want to beat the war drums against Russia. You can't go to fight against somebody that you are depending your supplies upon. You can't do it. You can't buy from the person who is you're going to go fight from. You're basically giving them ammunition, and Trump calls them out on this. If Trump can get India and the UN to stop buying oil, I said UN, I'm sorry, NATO allies, from buying oil from Russia, he can end the Russia-Ukraine war. Russia, they are not a paper tiger, but they're not a Siberian tiger. They're like a Bengal tiger. They're a bit smaller. They're not as dangerous as everybody thought they were, but they're not a slouch either. They are still a tiger. They will still take down legit game, okay? That doesn't mean that that tiger wants to go up against a big grizzly bear, okay? And we are much more than, we're like a short-faced bear. We're not even like a Kodiak bear. We're like a short-faced bear. We're like 10 times the size of that tiger. The tiger knows this. It doesn't want to do it, but it still has to put up and show its teeth that it is willing to fight. And it can hurt the short-faced bear. The short-faced bear is going to win. If you don't know what a short-faced bear is, go look it up. It's what used to hunt us a long time ago, and it is awesome. It is, sorry, all ancestors that died from it. It is scary awesome. Go look it up. It's fantastic. Huge, huge. Point is, Russia knows that if we come to bear, if we come to the forefront in this war, they are going to lose, and they're going to lose drastically. That's why we're positioning troops all along the eastern border of Europe. That's why Russia is playing around on the Polish border. Whether or not those are false flags or not, it doesn't matter. The fact is, you can still start a war, as we have seen, under the pretenses of a false flag. We don't want that. Russia hopefully doesn't want that. I don't believe they want that. I believe they want the war to end. They just know right now the UN has no fangs. NATO needs us, and they are pushing the advantage in Ukraine. If we can cut off their funding, stop buying from them, the war will come to an end. I think that's what's happening right now, and I do believe there's a clear path if this can stop buying from Russia for a little while. India, talking about India too, we could see an end to the war in Ukraine. If. Also, don't forget, Trump, he just ended the war in Gaza. I've got a lot of mixed emotions over this. The way I would say it is that if some dude comes in my house, terrorizes my family, grapes my wife, and barbecues one of my children, I don't care who's in front of me. I'm going to tear whoever I have to, limb from limb, to get to that person that did it to my family. Did it to my family. Just being clear and honest here. Think about what if that happened to you October 7th. If that happened to you, and I'm not getting into the false flag, well, not false flag, but the potential stand down that occurred there. I know you're not supposed to say that, but there's evidence there that it was a stand down. Let's be realistic. If that happened to your family, what would you do to get at the person that did it? Okay? So that's what happened. Israel's like, okay, we're going to go after them. Fine. What we're seeing now in Gaza, everybody's claiming genocide. It's not a genocide. They're not deliberately killing people. They are, though, deliberately demolishing all the buildings, homes, infrastructure in Gaza. They're literally making it a blank slate. Trump now has stepped in. I think he sees what's going on, that he's known about it, and he's basically having the UK come in and set up a demilitarized zone. And maybe that's a good thing. I don't know. It's just going to be, time will tell. But Gaza is pretty much gone, guys. It's pretty much bulldozed. I'm curious to see what's going to happen next. Pray for all the victims on both sides who did not deserve anything that's happened to them, have been uprooted from their homes. It's going to create a lot of angst. It's going to create a lot of ripple effects down the line. And Comey. Comey, of course, I just want to remind everybody, President Obama himself asked FBI Director James Comey about the Flynn-Klisiak communications. Comey upped the ante. He avoided following normal FBI White House protocols. So this goes, what I'm pointing out now is that FBI head Comey intentionally set up the Russia collusion hoax on purpose to undermine the Trump administration and to destroy certain people in Trump's orbit. This was a malicious attack upon innocent people using the weaponization of the federal government. Comey is not being charged for this. Comey's being charged for lying about this. And those that are understanding of what he has actually done versus what he's being charged for is like, whoa, this is just a slap on the wrist. This is BS. I want to point out two key facts here. One, you know the deep state apparatus is going to go around Comey and try to protect him. So I think this is more of throwing a snowball into hell and seeing how far it gets before unleashing the actual charges against Comey. You want the left to go ahead and use up their ammunition on the snowball. Let them attack the snowball. The snowball's only got 2 years on it. Undermining seditious behavior has potential treasonous charges. It's got decades on it. Wouldn't you rather see Comey behind bars for decades or 2 years? Yeah, that's what I thought. Let's give some time for the man to cook. Again, everybody thought that he was going to put boots on the ground in Iran, and I called saying that he would not do that. And I am also mostly positive we're going to see an end to the war in Ukraine and Russia because, again, Trump's legacy is on the line. He's egotistical. for good and for ill. He wants to be the peace broker. He wants to be the person that is brokering peace. And he's already, brokered peace in like 7 different conflicts. He's been nominated more than any other person in history for the Nobel Peace Prize, but they still won't give it to him. Let's give the man some time. Let him cook, including on James Comey. Let them throw the snowball. Let's see what the left unloads on this snowball, and then let's hope that the bigger charges are coming. Food for thought.